Well, I've got a fresh cup of coffee. Everybody has left the shop, so I think you know what that means. What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are checking out the MST RMX 2.5 ready to run. This is the brushed version. Like I said, this is the brushed one, and there's the ECS, the MGX gyro. There's some specs on that. Here are the main features: new configuration, optimized settings. You can pause that if you want to read all of that. This is what we are taking a look at right here, this chassis and this absolutely beautiful body. Now, before we go drifting this thing around and taking a look at it, I got to talk about some major issues that I had because of me. I couldn't leave it stock. I did play around with it and it was great out of the box, but I can't leave anything the way that it is out of the box. I wanted more camber. I wanted it to look a little different.
You're serious? You don't know? Everybody knows you never go full retard.
It came with these silver wheels out. Now, I've heard that they come with random color wheels. The silver did look pretty cool with the car. I'll put a picture or a clip up of what it looked like before it had the stickers on it. I changed out to these aluminum wheels I saw on Amazon. I'll put a link. They were super cheap. Changed the camber around and I made it drive like absolute crap.
You went full retard, man. Never go full retard.
So I'm going to get into what I did to make it drive like absolute crap. And then we're going to talk about what we had to do to fix it to make it drive okay. And then what I've done to really dial it in on the stock chassis, no upgrade parts minus lights and things like that. And doing some weights, but nothing has been changed yet. In the next episode on this, we're going to be putting aluminum parts in it. Who knows what else. We're going brushless. The next episode, we're going to be figuring out a motor and ESC. If you guys have any comments, any experience, definitely leave them in the comments and let me know what you guys are running in your drift car. And if you don't have a drift car, what type of drift car, what body, what style would you do? Would you do all-wheel drive? Now, I know a lot of people are going to say that all-wheel drive isn't drifting, it's power sliding. I'd have to agree, but what would you do? What would you build? Let me know in the comments. Now, my first mistake was just figuring that these are where the body holes should have been, not realizing that you can move them over and make it look more like an actual hood pin. The second mistake was not taking my time and looking on Amazon at the magnetic body mounts, so that way you don't have to even drill holes in the first place, and it looks way better, especially in the rear. And I'm gonna tint that at some point so you can't see my really ugly wiring, which I really don't even want to show you guys this, because I know a lot of the drift scene, like I've seen the YouTube videos, their stuff's super clean, and this is a mess. I know, we're gonna clean this up a little bit, hopefully. It's mainly the body that causes the huge wiring mess that's in there. Yes, the body mounts. Now, take your time with it. I literally was cutting one little nib at a time down here to get it to sit where I wanted to, and then I added some rubber hose and just cut it so that way the body sits up higher on this post and it's not sticking out super high. And then when I run the body pins, I run these little guys here with a little tab on them. Just makes them look a little bit less RC pin and kind of like hood pins. Second mistake was messing with pretty much anything in the front end. Now with these, they're non-adjustable, so you can't technically adjust these, but you can actually adjust them by taking the pin out of the upper control arm and moving it. Now originally you'll see in there, it's kind of hard to see, I had the pin next to this one over there, which was causing the tire, when I was turning, you could not get it to roll on that outside edge, and it would just power right through, understeer really, really bad. Now, I did change that up to the highest hole, and that did fix the problem. The other thing I did was, you'll see there's a thick shim and a thin shim right there. I swapped them when I did it because I didn't realize what I was doing, and then when I looked at that side and realized I was wrong, I was just too stubborn and made that side the same. that was not a good idea. So if you see a little mistake there, it's easier just fix it right then versus going out, having a bunch of problems, figuring out that, or thinking that it's something else, modifying a bunch of other crap, and then realizing that you're just kind of an idiot.
Went home empty-handed.
As you can see, we've also added some weights on the front. That was the original effort to help with the understeer, and now I'm just gonna leave them. I also messed with the shock placement. I would leave them where it's at, unless you're gonna be adding a bunch of weight. I've got the fronts pretty much straight up and down, and then back here in the rear, pretty much straight up and down as well. You can see there, these will all be changed at some point. I know they make the aluminum here, aluminum there, aluminum everywhere. So we're gonna put some aluminum on this thing, and we're gonna clean the wiring up. Maybe, I've seen like those inside tubs that you can get that goes inside the body to kind of hide some of that. Maybe we'll do something like that. But yeah, I did change out the receiver to run on the FlySky G11P. This thing has a ton of programming on it. You could make a whole separate video on this controller alone, but with the brushed motor, it does really help with the throttle tuning and all of that. You could basically add like boost in a way by just adding speed or taking away time from the throttle trigger and all of that. So it does kind of help with that brushed motor, getting some punch, having a smooth transition in the throttle. But that is one thing I would recommend, is just getting rid of the controller that it comes with, because it's just kind of bulky. It does work, but I don't know. That's just my opinion. I did add the Tamiya lights because the bodies come with the buckets and they look freaking sweet. The headlights look sweet in there, so I did add the Tamiya light kit, so that way, honestly, it was cheap. I think I would do it differently and just run little receiver parts in the lights themselves like this, and then just run the wiring around. And then I did get the magnetic things so you can have magnetic wiring. I think we might do that at some point, but I don't know. I'm really sad that I drilled the holes and didn't realize there was magnetic mounts. I feel like for drifting, that's huge. That's because you try to make it look as clean and as scaled as possible. So now we're gonna go take this thing to the shop, drift it around. I'll show you some clips of the understeer problems that we were having before, and then we'll take it and do the final run. I was having so much fun. There's a lot of footage, so just grab something to drink, grab a beverage, that's something to drink, grab a snack is what I meant to say, and just kick back, relax, enjoy some drifting footage, and watch me crash into things. So you'll be able to see in these clips that, one, I really don't know what I'm doing, and two, you can really see the understeer in these videos. And if you don't know what understeer is, that is when you turn the wheels out of a drift and the car just does not want to bite, and it just continues to almost crab walk in a way. The car was doing that pretty bad. You couldn't get it to swing out even if you gave it power. But later on in these next few clips, you'll see this thing really gets dialed in, and that's really what RC is all about. It's messing up, learning how you messed it up, and then going back, fixing it, making it drive better, and getting the satisfaction of watching it drive much better than original. Alright, we're going to try to do a bit of talking and driving here. Now we're going to show off how uneligible I am to multitask. But I kind of want to talk while I'm driving it, give my feedback and some inputs. We still get a little bit of understeer. Now I know that like you pretty much have to retune the car for every surface. This is kind of a not polished concrete, but it's borderline polished, but it is fairly rough. It does chew the tires up a little bit. And I know absolutely nothing about drift, so I'm kind of just talking out of my arse right now. But the understeer problem was things that we'll talk about in the table talk video, or in the table talk section, I should say. I don't even know what I'm talking about right now. In the table talk section, I'll talk about what I did that pretty much messed the car up out of the box. Things that I would recommend on not doing if you are going to be a tinkerer like me and you can't leave things stock. I will show you what I did to make it drive how it is now. I would ultimately probably just leave it stock until you're ready to do some upgrade parts and not just mess around with the chassis and the upgrade locations that they give you. Or not the upgrade locations, but the different mounting locations for some of the upper and lower control arms in the front. Give you more or less camber or caster. Not necessarily caster, but more so the camber. And honestly, there for a minute, I was kind of worried that I really messed it up and was gonna have to go all the way back to stock, but I'm super happy with how it's driving right now. Even with the brushed motor, you still get a little bit of understeer, but even with the, like right there, you get some understeer. What was I saying? Even with the brushed motor, honestly, the tuning that you get in the FlySky G11P, you're able to make this thing really drive however you want to. I'm definitely gonna do a brushless. That'll be the next video on this car, is figuring out what motor and ESC combo what motor and ESC combo we want to run, because I definitely want to go brushless. I cheaped out, wanted to try out the brushless or the brushed version, see if I even like drifting. I have a feeling we're gonna like it. Man, we're just chewing the body up, aren't we? Luckily, it really doesn't take too much of a beating. It stays pretty clean. That's a sweet looking car. And I know the co-workers here, they're already working on figuring out what they're gonna build for RC drift cars. So I know we're gonna have some like RC drift competitions and stuff like that. Just drifting with the boys after hours in the shop, doing things like that. So I'm definitely excited for that. But the next episode on this will be motor and ESC upgrades. I could straight up do this all night. I already think it's like 9 o'clock. But we're just running packs and spinning out and just having a grand old time learning how to drift. It's really just spending time. You have to have that that level of lock-inism to just freaking lock in and predict everything that's gonna happen, know how much throttle to give it, when to give it, where to give it. And I could see definitely having a track set up. That way you know, like, okay, I'm gonna start braking at this pillar, or I'm gonna start braking at this red checker, or something like that, to get the consistency down. But just for messing around doing little courses like this, I am super happy. before we go back to the table and I kind of give my final thoughts on the first iteration of the drift stang, I kind of want to just sit here, drift a little bit, and talk to you guys about some things that, if you're new to drifting, might help, some tips and tricks, or just really some practice loops that you can do. I think doing figure eights, or like a big extended figure eight like you're seeing here, really helps with the transition, learning how much throttle you need to give it, if you want to use throttle or if you want to do like a little brake tap to get the ass in to kind of throw, and figure out how you want to do that. Sometimes you need to use the brake, sometimes you need to use the gas, depending on if you're trying to push into a corner or not. Again, I don't really know that much about drifting. This has only been maybe 3.5, 4 hours of really sitting down and playing with the car and just figuring it out. That's really what it's about, just figuring it out. And I think this is something that you can totally just geek out on and kill some time figuring out how to drift. And then once you figure it out, you can kill some time just watching the car slide around the corners, because it is absolutely beautiful, and it is super satisfying when you get a nice drift and transition. You really can like stay in the throttle the whole time. That's kind of been my goal, is like learning the track that I'm making and then trying to do it without really letting out of the throttle ever, and just using the throttle to pitch the car in different directions. It's what it's all about, just learning how to drive your RC car. It's all about having fun with your toy cars. Another thing I would recommend is the cracks you see in the floor. Try to avoid those. It definitely, if you're gonna hit them, figure out how you want to hit them. Sometimes it's better to hit them straight, sometimes it's better to hit them at like a 45 in a slide almost, but I know that really does kind of mess up things. Also, try to sweep or blow out the floor if you can. Blow it off, clean it, vacuum it, do whatever you need to, so that way there's no little random things getting stuck in there under the tires. And if you are somebody that has been drifting for a while and you're still on this video, I'd love to hear some of your tips, tricks, things that you do to make your cars drift and slide exactly how you want to. Well, now it's time to ask myself the most important question after getting any new RC car, and that's, did I have fun with it? And yes, absolutely. This thing is an absolute blast, and I can't wait to get some more upgrade parts, get a little bit more tunability out of the front end, and just spend some time learning how the car drives, learning how to make a fun and cool course, and getting the coworkers into it with their cars. I think it's going to be a blast, so make sure you guys subscribe to follow along, and I think there is going to be a lot of really cool drifting content to come. And final thoughts are basically, don't mess with anything that you don't need to right out of the box. Learn the car, and then go ahead and start messing with things, seeing how it alters the car, and eventually you'll get this thing driving exactly how you want it to. I will say, however, if you are contemplating getting one, I would just spend the extra little bit of money and get the brushless.
Body,